Hello everyone, my name is Trevor Selescu and I am the owner of Monster Hobbies in High River, Alberta, Canada. So, this week we have the Age of Sigmar. It's finally here. It's a totally new game. This is not 8th edition or 7th or 6th or 5th or 3rd or 1st. This is the universe rewritten. Everything has changed. If you guys were following the end times, basically that old world that was 8th edition and back is gone. This is the reboot. Time to make things exciting and fun and fast and different. Age of Sigmar. So, as you can see behind me, I'm trying to look through my viewfinder in reverse. There's Age of Sigmar. Great big game set. So anyway, I'm not really, well, I'm a hobby shop. Yeah, I am here to sell this stuff. Okay. Let's not make a mystery out of it, or, high pressure sales like, you gotta get it, man. None of that stuff, just the normal la. Anyway, so Games Workshop this time around has been nice enough to not say, you need a 765 page rule book, 1/3 is fluff, the other half is, ooh, you could play this game kind of cool this way, and build a model. And the first beginning part of it is rules. And that's going to cost you $120. And yeah, no, they didn't do that. They reduced everything down to a 4-page rule book. And any of the old armies, like your High Elves, your Orcs and Goblins, your Bretonia, all that stuff, the stuff that we used to play with for 20 years, and, how many old town, I got the first dwarf ever married, those guys. Yeah. So they printed off free war scrolls, which are now what the army books used to be known as. These are all PDF formats, so if they need to make changes, they can just update everybody and say, hey, guess what? Dwarves now have this new dude, and here's his stats, and they're, and if they need to make any modifications to the game, they can do it PDF. Don't have to wait for, like in the past, rule book coming out in Bretonia Rulebook, first print, or for 6th edition, 2002. Wait for it to come out. Yeah, it never came out for 7th or 8th. It's a 13-year-old outdated book. But now, there's Battle Scrolls. Brings it all up to date. Makes it fun. Makes it work. Age of Sigmar. Check it out. Anyway, here's my thoughts. Now, I've been looking at a lot of other YouTube posts, and people are like, how do we balance this? Because they got rid of point scores like 500 points for Thorgrim Ungrim, and, each model is 13 points apiece, and you got a unit of 10, that's 130 points, plus your command, another 30 points, 160 points, plus now you got a runic standard on your dwarves. I play dwarves. 95 points. There you go. Go ahead. You're going to put shields on them? Add another 20 points, because shield is 1 point each. Yeah, that's all gone. So now it's basically take your models out. Here's what you want to play with, because you like it. Plunk it on the table. Go. And people are like, well, you get 20 spearmen, and they're taking on one Tyrion, and they're killing them because, Well, okay, so here's my thoughts on all of this. Now, I've been looking at every war scroll. 17 armies, whatever it is. And I even have the war scroll for Chaos Dwarves that Tommy H. made on Chaos Dwarves Online. I'm looking at his stuff too. Anyway, so this is what I found out. This is what is common collectively in Age of Sigmar. Now, you got to think of Age of Sigmar in a whole new world. Think, for those of you that played Magic the Gathering, the card game, think of this as Games Workshop's idea of Magic the Gathering with cards, keywords, as war scrolls, with models on the table. The old style mini war game. Models, table, there we go. So, first off, every war scroll has a named character. Joseph Bugman, Thorgrim Ungrim, whatever, Tyrion, the Chaos guys, all that jazz, like Squeak Headtaker. You get it. You get the idea. So there's those guys. Second off is generic characters. These are the basic Dwarf Lord, Rune Lord, Paladin, I don't know, a Beastman, dude, lizardman. Yeah, okay, I've read the scrolls. I don't remember everybody's name. Okay, come on, come on. Okay, next up is units that start at 2 to 5 models. Now, I know that Ogre Kingdom's a little bit different, bigger dudes. Those guys are still under that kind of 1 guy equals 3 system, which here's the next part of this. So you got units go to 2 to 5 models. There's a unit that starts at 6 in Bretonia. Only Bretonia has that. Only on a certain unit. And then the fourth point is units that start at 10 models. So these would be the Dwarf Warriors, Dwarf Thunderers. I'm going to keep referring dwarves because I know that one. Skeleton Warriors start at 10. This sort of thing. And then there's the specialty models. So I'm reading this sheet of paper here, by the way, because it's my notes. Specialty models, you've got flyers, monsters, war machines, totems, things of that nature. Okay, then there's single model units. Again, name characters, generic characters. And then there's any number unit. So this could start at 1 and go to 10 bajillion, whatever, how many you want to really spend like that much on like the same model over and over and over. Okay, no. Oh, but here's the thing. Okay, so units that start at the 2 to 5 models, 6 with Bretonia, that would have been the ones that used to be known as Special and 8th Edition. So hopping the special guys in. The guys that start at 10 models are basically your core. And I forgot to mention, there is a Skaven unit, 1 again, that starts at 20 models. But that's Skaven only, 1 unit. Bob's your uncle. Okay, so you got single any number of units. And then the ones that start at 8 and the ones that start at 6 for Bretonia. And then some single characters, named ones or unnamed ones, they actually have a double kind of listing because they can ride a mount, like a horse or a flying whatever. Underwater, whatever, if there was such a thing, which there isn't, but maybe. Okay, and then there's the keyword alliances, which you'll find if you really look through all the scrolls. Order, Chaos, Death, and Destruction. The 4 units that you could combine together. So Age of Sigmar, which gives the whole thing's redone. So everything's going to be unique and new, and not too many people know how to play this or balance it, but that was my thoughts. So we do a Warhammer Fantasy League on Thursday nights, Wednesday slot cars, which is fun. Go do that. So here's my thoughts. We were in the middle of a 8th edition league, and it was add 500 points every month. Now, we got sucked into the Age of Sigmar through the porthole in the vortex, and we spun around, and then we ended up right there in the Age of Sigmar, which you can buy tomorrow because it's Friday. I just put this stuff on the shelf just to get it out of the way of falling over it on the floor in the box. So anyway, so we got that. So here's what I'm going to do for the Age of Sigmar Tier 1, because we basically got a reboot. This is the Brave New Land. I don't have any other titles for 3, 4, or 2 and 3 and 4, because we do tier goes up to 4 leagues, or league goes up to 4 tiers. So here we go. I'm thinking bring in 1 generic character. So this could be a Lord, mounted. 3 units of starting 10 models, so 3 core, what we knew as core, in the world that was. Marty, we gotta get back to the world that was. Yeah, this is going on YouTube. It'll be great. Okay, and then 2 units of the 2 to 6 models, so your specials. And then 1 specialty model. Now, what I'm calling a specialty model is your flyers, your monsters, war machines, that jazz. You can field a mixed faction army. So that would be Bretonia. Okay, wait a minute. Mixed faction. So hang on, let's start from the beginning. Build a mono race. So like Dwarf Army, Lizardman Army, Chaos Army, that kind of thing. Then you could build a keyword alliance army, okay? Order. So Dwarf, Bretonia, Empire, and those guys, that could be your starting army. Or Chaos, you know, Skaven, Beastmen, Chaos Warriors. Death, so Tomb Kings and Vampire counts. And then Destruction is your Ogres and Orcs and Goblins, okay? Now then, the mixed faction. This is where it goes all crazy. Vampire counts plus dwarves. Think of that. So you got your dwarves that got bitten by the vampire, and now they're under his control. So you got vampiric dwarf thunders blowing apart ogres with high elves, because I don't know, maybe the ogres were like, hey, those guys are kind of cool, you know, they're all shiny and woo, you know, I don't know, whatever. Orcs, right? You know, no logic. Maybe more like, okay, at the end of the end times, where it was like, the high elf guy was battling the orcs, and he's like, Grimgor comes up and he's like, ah, Grimgor, you know, kind of thing. And he's like, I yield to your will, Grimgor. And Grimgor's like, Grimgor the best? Yes, Grimgor, you are the best. Grimgor best, yeah. High elf, fuck, yeah, whoa. You know, kind of thing, right? So maybe that's your army. Like, the orcs are like, high elves, we had them all wrong the whole time. Now we're going to kick yeah, okay. It's a hobby shop with kids here. I can't say that kind of stuff. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of the mixed concept for me, right? Okay, so yeah, so in the end, if this works out right, everybody should have 42 models. Now, a lot of people say, oh, go off the wounds, and, you know, well, some models, if they're mounted, they have 2 wounds. So how do you go off the wounds when these guys are 2 wounds? So, but a lot of those guys start at 5 models. So there you go, 5 models, 2 wounds each. You got horse riders. 1 wound for the guy on the horse, 1 wound for the horse. 2 wounds. So, but you put that up against a army of dwarves don't ride anything. So you've got iron breakers. So maybe these guys get, or hammers, okay? So you got 2 wounds on, because you guys on mounted on a horse. Well, here's my hammers. You get 2 attacks. So, hey, there you go. Here's 1 for your horse and 1 for you. You know, kind of thing, right? So there. Balance, maybe? I don't know. But in the tier, you'll have 42 models. 1 generic character, 30 guys starting at 10 models, so 3 units, 3 times 10, 30. 2 units of 2 to 5 models, so between 10 and... Well, that's kind of anybody's gamble, because you got... Okay, if you have 2 units of 2, you got 4 models, so you know, whatever, right? Anyway, so you should have up to 42, let's put it that way. And 1 specialty model, so like a cannon, a flyer, a whatever. So you could bring your... Flame Phoenix, and I can bring my organ gun, and we can rock, baby, yeah. So, yeah, that kind of thing, right? So that's my thoughts on how to build this league for Age of Sigmar. Now, another thought I have is, stop thinking of Warhammer like 8th edition, here's a big army and block formation, everybody's equal, and they all come up, walk up into a big punch and fist thing. Okay, go on YouTube here, because you're already at YouTube if you're watching me. So click up in the bar that's up there, you know, the big blank one. After this video, of course, because I'm still talking to you, type in Warhammer Shadow of the Horned Rat. It's a 1995 video game. Go into the very first part of it. Hang on, let me go over to the computer here. Yeah. Trust me to turn the thing off when I need to tell you about it. Warhammer, Shadow of the Horned Rat. Go back 1.
I have spoken to the...
Okay, turning the camera. You should see this. Warhammer, Shadow of the Horned Rat walkthrough. Warhammer Shadow of the Horned Rat PC version Part 1 Protecting Schnappelberg. Watch this and then read through your Age of Sigmar rules and tell me if this is not what Warhammer 40k would... 40k? Woo! Wrong system. What this would look like.
Holder of the hamlet.
Here, let's slice this.
Snappleberg needs hired thugs for protection from orc and goblin raiding parties. It is known that greenskins have established a camp somewhere in this area. 4 nearby villages have been pillaged in the last 3 weeks. The locals live in fear of an attack. We will be stationed in this forsaken backwater for 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay, let's skip ahead here. Okay, so you got your units. There's 10 guys, or 16 guys going in. These are orcs here. They're coming in. They're going to engage these guys. Oops. Get the cavalry out of here. Go away. Okay, cavalry's invading these wolf rider dudes. Yeah, there goes your magic. Okay, here they come in. Okay, so here's that pile-in thing that they're talking about. This is 95, a video game. Pile in. Look at these guys going around. These guys going around here in the circle. Everybody's all hitting into each other. This is how Age of Sigmar wants you to battle now. It's not the block formation and the 5 guys in the front are hitting the 5 guys in the other front, and then you're sucking off guys dying off the back end. Look at this. They're all intermixing in each other, smashing each other to pieces. There's all the guys that died. These guys are taking off. Cavalry's coming in to help these guys out. This is how we want to play Age of Sigmar. And it's just a matter of taking all that information, getting 8th edition and all that out of our heads, and then coming into this. This is how this is. Fast, quick, mission complete. That was 3 minutes. Okay, Age of Sigmar is going to take you about 30 minutes to do the same thing, but that is my thoughts on how this system is going to be. Which is awesome, because there's Snaffleberg. You know, I got this game at home on my PS... Let's just stop it. PS1. That's how old it is. Back in my day, I used to play on PS1. You know, anyway. So you got Snappleberg, and then there was... you go underground with the dwarves at one point, and then things switch. You always have that general guy, I believe, but you meet different units, you fight underground, you fight above ground, you go on missions where you beat up a giant. All this stuff happens, and it goes over and over. There's high elves, they have their little quests you need to do, and all this stuff. Now, in leagues and campaigns, that's your whole thing. Not 8th edition, Shadow of the Horned Rat, and Dark Omens was 1998 version, same company, same idea, same concept. You have your units, you can mix them up, because there was a horse guy, and then you can meet the dwarves and all the rest. High elves, wood elves were in that. It's an old game, so it didn't have everything. No Tomb Kings pop in. But, you know, that's the way that goes. So Age of Sigmar, plan it out the same way. Do campaigns. Don't come in going, okay, this got to be tournament play where you got this and there's a big trophy and I'm up on the golden demon and the black white and I dude and blah blah. No, it's Age of Sigmar, quests, adventure, D&D, Magic the Gathering. I've got a war scroll. There's a keyword. This keyword ties into this guy. Make a flowchart diagram or a pyramids thing. So you got like Thorgrim at the top, then angle over here, and it's like this guy. Angle over there, that guy. Angle down here, filter out down into your core units. How do they influence each other? The stackability, all that jazz. Think that way. This is the way it goes now. So you got units of Slayers. Slayers can come in on their own. Don't need to be additional part of this thing. But if you did put in Thorgrim, starts peeling out into this triangle diamond shaped thing where it's like he influences this guy under here and this guy under there and then the rest of the Slayers. That's how it stacks. It's like Magic the Gathering. You got a blue deck, you got a white deck, you got a green deck, you got all this other thing. You've got different decks play differently. You got to think of Warhammer this way. Brand new Magic the Gathering, brand new Warhammer Age of Sigmar, kind of the same, but you got models on the tabletop instead of just straight out cards. That's it. That's how the game goes now. Welcome to the Age of Sigmar. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. You guys can leave nasty comments like, oh, man, you don't know what you're talking about, man. 8th edition was like, right on, man. And I can reply back and say, or hey, or whatever. But, you know, comment. What are you going to do? 10 bajillion people on Facebook. 10 bajillion people on the internet. All looking at this stuff going, yeah, I think that... Well, there you go. Your thoughts, my thoughts. Just try it out and be friends. Anyway, Age of Sigmar, it's here forever, next 4 years at least. It's a live game. It's going to happen. Let's just play it. Let's be happy. And if you want to go back to 8th edition, go ahead. You got your tables and your models still. It's not like that end of it died. If you need 8th, let me know. I've got one of everything except the Skaven book because one guy bought it just before we went into the Age of Sigmar, and I couldn't get another one because it was like, yeah, we at Games Workshop don't have any more left. Welcome to the Age of Sigmar. How's it going? You know, so if I need a Skaven one, I guess I can find one at a garage sale in like 3 years for like $2.99 or something. Anyway, okay, well, I'm signing out. Have fun.